Wildflowers. So definitely check it out. It's a really good one. Okay, here we go. The hills were alive with wildflowers, and I was as wild, even wilder than they. For at least I could run, and they just died in the sun, and I refused to just wither in place. Just a wild mountain rose, needing freedom to grow, so I ran, fearing not where I'd go. When a flower grows wild, it can always survive. Wildflowers don't care where they grow. And the flowers I knew in the fields where I grew were content to be lost in the crowd. They were calm and close, and I had no room for growth. I wanted too much to branch out, so I uprooted myself from my home ground and left, took my dreams and I took to the road. When a flower grows wild, it can always survive. Wildflowers don't care where they grow. I grew up fast and wild, and I never felt right in a garden so different from me. I just never belonged. I just longed to be gone, so the garden one day set me free. I hitched a ride with the wind, and since he was my friend, I just let him decide where we'd go. When a flower grows wild, it can always survive. Wildflowers don't care where they grow. Just a wild rambling rose, seeking mysteries untold, no regrets for the path that I chose. When a flower grows wild, it can always survive. Wildflowers don't care where they grow. So that was Wildflowers. Let's see, the next one. Here's some more pictures, just if you want to see. I love her outfits too. Okay, this one is a little bit longer, so here we go. Well, a good ways down the railroad track, there was this little old rundown shack, and in it lived a man I'd never seen. Folks said he was a mean and vicious man, and you better not set foot on his land, but I didn't think nobody could be that mean. So I took me out walking down the railroad track. I was gonna go down to that little old shack and just find out if all of them things I'd heard was true. There was a big old black laying out in the yard, and it growled at me, and I swallowed hard, and I said, "Somebody say, well, who are you?" And there he stood in the door of that shack. His beard and his hair was long and black, and he was the biggest man I'd ever seen. When he spoke, his voice was low and deep, but he just couldn't frighten me, 'cause somehow I knew that he just wasn't mean. He said, "What are you doing, snoop around my place?" And I saw a smile come across his face, so I smiled back and I told him who I was. He said, "Come on in, I'll pull you up a chair, you might as well, since you're already here." And he said, "You can call me Joshua." Joshua, Joshua, what you doing living here all alone? Joshua, Joshua, ain't you got nobody to call your own? We talked till the sun was clean out of sight, and we still talking when it come daylight. There was just so much we'd had to say. I'd spent my life in an orphan's home, and just like him, I was all alone, so I said yeah when he asked if I'd stay. A week grew closer as time went on, and that little old shack, it was a happy home, and we just couldn't help but fall in love. That big black dog in that little old shack, sitting down by the railroad track, it's plenty good enough for me and Joshua. Joshua, Joshua, I've been looking for Joshua, Joshua, you ain't gonna be lonesome anymore. No. And then she does a little yodel, but I don't know how to yodel, so I'm not even gonna try, because I'm gonna embarrass myself. But then she yodels, and then she you know, girl,